No matter what, I'm gonna have noise. This is Chef Yoda 4x4 on Instagram. It's 4x4 and YOTA, Chef YOTA 4x4 on Instagram. And I haven't been doing YouTube a lot. I've just been a bit overwhelmed. I'm really sorry about the noise. And this right here, this is the rig that's been my personal rig for a while. Sure, a lot of you know the body swap, all that stuff. So it's in expedition style right now. I'm actually trying to get a trip to Barstow to Vegas going. So this is for sale, and it is an 86 SAS, locked front and rear, 571 gears. I'm pretty sure this SAS was done and hardly ever used, because the guy that did it then, like right after that, blew the turbo motor. My buddy got it. He blew the turbo motor within like a year or less, and then it sat, and then I picked it up because I didn't want it going to scrap. So it was going to get taken to picture part on my buddy, so a younger guy, there's nothing he could do. So I picked it up, and I just wanted to, pay it forward, or however you say it, and get it to somebody who needs a crawler that doesn't want to spend thousands of dollars. Although it's not free. So I'm asking, just right from the beginning, I'm asking $2,500 for this as it is with no motor, as you can see. I pulled a turbo motor out of it, but that's pretty much not going to be an option with it unless you want to, pay, because I've had to pay to rebuild the entire motor and all new pistons and new cam, LC Engineering adjustable time gear and all that stuff. So that'll be another subject in a minute, but just wanted to show you the truck. Got a couple little rust things here like this one, but nothing on the frame. It's really clean as far as rust. I guess they got stuff going up in here and it rotted, on the front, on the other fender right here. And then there's nothing else on the fender. I couldn't find any more rust on the inner fender either. It has a new gearbox push forward with these custom packs, high steer, and boy, it's just like the worst day for noise. This is the fourth video. So the backing plate was cut away. It's got trail gear wipers, Marlin gussets. I believe it's a Skies or Marlin truss. Trail gear. I don't think it's trail gear, but this is trail gear armor, with the Allen bolt. And so the axles was like recently done to do the SAS, and then they just kept blowing the motor on the turbo, the head gasket on the turbo. So yeah, so that's been done. Like you can see, push forward. They did a little trim just to make sure it cleared the cross member. It was done cleanly. I've looked it all over, and I've seen it wheel as well. And so, I'm confident that this thing will do well by someone. It is I think they're custom packs. I'm not sure. I cannot get the label off of it, but they don't look like trail gear to me, because I don't know, just the top leaf, the way it's, it seems more like an RUF almost. The way it's pushed forward, and I'm going to have to measure to verify that, end to end, but all that does is basically push it forward another 1.5 inches, and it is kind of, a little bit more aggressive than some of them. So that's it. It's, like I said, an 86. It's a clean pink, and, no salvage or anything. There's it's been sitting, so there's like a year of fees, and it's got 63 Chevy springs in the rear, with no blocks, and a figure shocks. You're going to need bushings for the shocks. I believe it's 12s front and rear, and they really have great, it squats nice, and it's not, no one wants to crawl, after a while anyway, after learning, no one wants to crawl on a big old tall thing. So we try to keep them down, right, as much as possible. So yeah, it's got 63s done properly in the rear with no blocks. And the shoes included, yes. The interior is, it's been kind of a part. He was putting Pour 15 up front. I'll show you that as well. It's the vinyl floor in the rear, the brown, and the panels, aside from the always the speaker hole and all that, are just, they're nothing in the rear. They're toast. The front ones are okay. They're just the stock, vinyl. There's no pockets in them or anything. And the floor is the vinyl, so people you know, seem to like that because it's easy to clean. Even the back of the bench, which is also, as you can see, not split. So this is like a uber base model that I think they was a stick, and they found, you know, probably had a 22R, and they found a turbo motor and did a turbo swap, because I can tell in the harness that that they had added, you know, connectors and things like that. This is the damage, the only like body damage that I see. Even the tailgate is pretty straight and all that. I mean, there's little dings here and there all over it. It's a rock crawler, but I mean, it's pretty clean and straight, you know, for the most part, except for this section. So I talked to my buddy. I got him some good pictures and with all kinds of light, different angles, and it basically got hit here. He was thinking, and it buckled it down and in a little bit. So, but the shell still bolts on, but you can see here it caused a little issue here, a little surface rust, because it's, you know, the rain's able to get right there, but this is at the back where it runs off, so it doesn't really go into the truck, you know, and there's no rust in there I could find inside. So I guess for the most part it seals. It just needs to have this. I probably would weld a plate in there under the bottom where it's strong, and, or, you know, tack it in so I can get it back out, and then just yank it up with a come along or something into my joists, and try to straighten that as much as possible, and then give it to my buddy down in Wilmington, and he said like $600. So, you know, to just totally do this and fix it, and then prime it for me. And this could be, if this is pushed in, a lot of that would resolve itself, and probably push this back a little as well. But I don't want to screw with it. It's not consequential really, and, you know, it doesn't affect it as a rock crawler. So unless someone wants to make a show truck out of this, then that's what you're going to have to do. The shell's in good shape, missing the wiper, just stupid crap like that. But it has Baja claws in the rear that seem okay. I mean, they've held air for like 10 weeks now. That front right one, which is both the front right, are KM1s, BF Goodrich KM1, and they are, you know, I mean, they're still decent to do some wheeling, but they're not, you know, in perfect shape. And they're obviously KM1s, they're a little older, so, you know, eventually here it's going to need tires. But this one, I can't figure it out. I can't find a leak on it anywhere, but it won't hold air for more than like a few days. And then, so I just pop a stand on it so it's not, you know, sitting on the rim or anything. They're 15 by 10s, and the dials and everything worked just really smooth. It was all, I think, you know, done well. It was done right. You know, they just, here and there, some things weren't thought out, like the stops that they put there, and didn't use a can or anything like that. So it's like banging into the frame. There's no major damage or anything, but obviously it should be addressed, and just plate the bottom or something, you know, put some cans there. But that just shows how much it flexes. So yeah, I mean, and with 63s in the rear, it droops like crazy. And like I said, it's got a couple of these rust things and around the windshield, little like dots and stuff that go around the edge, and not really, the rot in there isn't really it's not even as bad as my silver one, actually. But it's just because it sat outside for like a year, and then when his pops allowed him to bring it in, he couldn't get it done, so he ended up having to just, that day, can somebody get it kind of thing. So here it is, no motor, with the trans, the entire drivetrain, the full SAS and all that. The truck, I want $2,500, and that's it. I'm not taking any less. So I just wanted to post this to show, you know, a little more detail, and I'll get under there as well and such, just for people to really see it and, you know, decide. The engine bay didn't seem to, like, it never got a chance to get bad blow by or anything. I think they just kept blowing the head gasket. So there's this compressor. Then I have another one. I have so many extra parts as well. So any of my buddies, you know, if you come to get it, I'll, you know, make sure you get something you need to go with it or whatever. But this is what I meant by the front packs. So you can see they're kind of like my old man emus are doing, like a little, so I don't even know, they may be, yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to give him a call and see if he can give me that info. I'm not positive he knows either. So it needs, I think, the rear seal. It needs bushings on all the leaves, obviously, but they all do all the time. And then it needs a rear seal, I believe, on the transfer case. And it's got a square tube front drive shaft, and this is the case. I believe it's, no, not the rear seal. It's a think it's the front one, actually. Yeah. And then I think that's in there. I think I have that. But it's also this, because it's not sealing. So probably wasn't cleaned up properly. I haven't even really dug into it. But it drove. It, you know, there wasn't a problem with the trans. It was the head gaskets. So, you know.